How you do that there? The remix. How you do that there? New Orleans, Baton Rouge. How you do that there? Lafayette, Big Charles. How you do that there? Shreveport, Mississippi. How you do?
Welcome to Blue Collar Podcasts. I'm your host Logan. Today I have Dominick Dorsa. How you doing today, Dominick?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Doing good. You said you just came from the gym?
Yes, sir. I woke up at 6 in the morning and stayed there for an hour and 20 minutes, and yeah, got a little pump in this morning.
Okay, was that just training or was that just regular workout?
That's just regular workout, like weights and stuff. I try to do that on the weekends if I can.
Oh gosh, you got a busy weekend?
Yeah, try to, yeah.
So for MMA, how would you work out for MMA? Is that different?
Workout for MMA, so like let's just say if I'm in camp, so I'll get there like right after work, and I'll change and I'll try to do a 2 mile run, and I'll try to beat my time. I'm trying to beat 15 minutes, but it's kind of hard. So I'll do that, and I'll go inside, and I probably had like 30 more minutes, and I'll try to clean up and put my gi on, and I'll try to help out with kids' class and all as much as I can. And then after that, we'll drill for about 30 minutes and probably grapple for about 30 minutes. After that, then do kickboxing for an hour.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So how'd you get involved with MMA?
Going through hard times. Everybody's got stories, man. And I did it for a week back in 2012 when it was Gracie Baja, and I tried it for a week. I enjoyed it, but just got a new girlfriend, and she was trying to get me to stay home and blah blah blah, and that's all I was worried about. So I quit. And plus I couldn't afford it at the time. It was expensive, and I was just working at the meat department at Piggly Wiggly Independent. So
okay.
Yeah, so I really couldn't afford it either. So
for MMA, like now, like you enjoy doing it now?
Oh yeah, man. I had my bad days, man, but when I think about it, I can't see myself without it, man. Just the gym, all my people there. It's truly like a family. If I decided ever to quit, I don't think they'll let me quit. If that makes sense. And I really appreciate it, man. They're everything to me.
For that, is there any type of special diet you would go on? Sure, you can't just go eat Popeye's fried chicken every day.
No. Oh no. I'm trying to do a little something different right now. I'm trying to get more protein in. Normally, I'll kind of like freak out when they're like, "Hey, you got to fight," and that's all I'm worried about is cutting weight. I'm not even worried about the other dude or nothing like that. I'm just trying to sweat. And my last few fights, I was like really skinny, and my other opponents were kind of bigger than me. And we're weighing in at the same weight, but they got muscle and I don't. I'm just skinny.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do something different this time. So right now, like I'm doing 2 eggs in the morning, and I'll try to eat at lunchtime chicken breast and mixed vegetables, and I'll do the same thing around 2:15. And when I get home, I eat some protein cereal. So I probably got to switch it up a little bit. Now it's getting closer, so I probably need to add some more protein in there instead of the cereal, because it's probably not the best for you, even though it's protein cereal. So
you trying to get prepped for a fight right now?
Yes, sir. I have a fight June 22nd in Houma for Cage Warriors.
Okay.
So yeah.
So like before a fight, like what goes through your head? Like you're standing there about to go in the ring.
Man, freaking everybody's scared, man. I'm not really scared of my opponent. I'm just scared of the outcome, really. Because you got through in your head like, man, dude, losing and get knocked out like first few seconds. I know you shouldn't be thinking about that, but those thoughts run through your mind. But man, just a few seconds before you're walking out, you got your team motivating you and all that. And man, when your music hits, it just pumps you up, man. And you don't have time to think about all that. You just worried about just going in there and just do what you got to do and get out.
Oh, I got you. So like during a fight, like are you like thinking about?
No, there ain't no time. If you think about something like that, you were getting punched, man. And all you're thinking about is just your opponent, and thinking about some of the stuff that you're pretty much everything's muscle memory to me. So I just think about it and just the combinations, and I'll just throw it as much as I can. And you ain't got time to worry about nothing else.
So like your coaches, they telling you stuff during the fight, like
Yeah,
do this, do that.
they're trying to, and I don't know, I got better with it, I believe, but I'm not perfect with it. They'll yell out stuff, and sometimes I don't know, like I don't hear them, or I just don't think it's the right time, even though it probably is. That makes sense, but I'm just kind of worried to do it. But yeah, they try their best, and I got some good coaches, man.
Well, who's your coaches?
My number one coach is Kurt Hollowball, the Ultimate Fighter winner for season 31.
Oh, okay.
And I also have Preston Thigpen. That's my second coach. And I also have Carlton Terrence. He's my third coach.
They help you stay motivated to do it?
Yes, sir. They do, man. Without them three, I probably wouldn't be fighting right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
They this is just business with them, or they like see you personal, like your personal life,
personal, everything, man. They're my boys, man. They inside the gym, outside the gym. Hell, two of them were in my wedding, staying in my wedding, and the other one I was thinking about it, but my wife didn't want to add another bridesmaid to her group, so I couldn't add Carlton, and I felt like crap about that, but. You know, if I go back and do it, I'll do it again, and I definitely get Carlton in there somehow.
Oh, I gotcha. So you said you're married right now?
Yes, sir. I've been married for a little over a year now. We got married October 30th.
Oh, see, I just got married.
Yeah. Like I said, we've been married for a year now, and our anniversary is going to be October 30th, 2024. That'll be our second year.
Okay. How does she feel about you doing MMA?
When we first met, she knew I was doing the jiu-jitsu part and all this and that, and it was really never a thought of me really fighting. There was at one time until I got my nose like caved in by Jonathan King, and then I was like, oh no, you know what? I don't want to fight no more. And I was just doing jiu-jitsu for a little while. Me and her met, and you know, she's okay with it, man. It was a little rough at first. When she comes to my fights, you know, she's kind of worried, especially the last time, my last fight with my arm and all. And she worries, but man, she supports me 110%, and it's awesome.
So what happened with your arm on your last fight?
My last fight with Hunter James for what was it? Eminence Production, or. I had a 155 bout with him, and it was for the Eminence title, 155. And I went in there, and first round was pretty good. And in the second round, somewhere in the middle, he wound up kicking my arm, and I wound up hitting that smaller bone in the front. It starts with a U. I can't remember what it's called. Mm-hmm. I know you saw that. Well, he wound up breaking it because he was throwing kicks at my arm, my legs pretty hard. And I really didn't realize my arm was broke until the round ended. And I sat down in the chair, and Preston's looking at me through the cage, and Kurt Hollowball, he goes in the side of the cage, put ice on my leg, and they're joking, like, how's your leg? And they're laughing and stuff. And I look at him dead serious. I'm like, man, dude, it ain't my leg, it's my arm. It's like, I don't know. And they just look at me like confused. And then all of a sudden, the horn blew. And I just got up. I'm ready to go. And I wound up finishing the third round, and I lost by decision, man. It was a really good fight, and it is what it is.
So you basically fought a whole round with a broken leg?
Yes, sir. I did. Didn't even know it until after the fight, after I got checked out by the doctors.
Was it like completely broken or just fractured?
No, it was completely broke.
And you were sitting there fighting with it?
Yeah. After we got to the back, and I'm pretty hard-headed, I'm like, the adrenaline's already still in me and stuff, and I saw the doctors. They're like, you okay? Checking your blood pressure and all that. I said, yeah, man, I'm fine. And then I get up, and my boy Pop, his name's Jason Gowdy, man. He's pretty awesome, too. And he works at Norfolk's, and he was looking at my arm. He's like, dude, it's broke. I'm like, you really think so? He's like, dude, you can see it when you're walking. It's like moving. I'm like, crap. So I had to go talk to the promoters, and had to get their information and insurance, and went to the ER, and yeah, sure enough, it was broke.
And so that kind of put like a little pause on your training and stuff?
Yeah, for a little while. That happened August 12th. Yeah, August 12th last year. Well, not last year. It's not a full year yet, but yeah. And, yeah.
So, like, recovering from a fight, like, after you get out of a fight, like, how do you recover from a fight?
Like a normal fight or just past fight?
Any fight. Just like, say you go to a fight and you're exhausted when you get out.
Oh yeah, man! Like the very next day, dude, you could hardly move. But sometimes you have black eyes, sometimes you don't. My second fight, I had a huge black eye. My opponent was Cody. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, that was my first loss I took, and man, it was a good fight. I think I performed well. I was still a little new at it, so I made a little mistakes, but as far as like slugging it out, man, it was a good fight.
That's good.
And you can barely walk sometimes, especially getting kicked in the leg and this and that. But usually you heal up after a few days, you know.
You just like go home and just lay in bed.
Yeah, if depends if we're like in Alabama or something like that. Sometimes depends how bad I'm hurting. I'll stay the night in the hotel or I'll just leave. You know, there's a few times I just left or whatever, and then the next morning it really hurt. So, yeah.
Okay. You got any tips for people looking to get into MMA? Just starting out.
Don't be scared, man. There's a lot of people that say they're not scared, but they're kind of nervous about coming in. My first time, I went Kurt Hollowball. I didn't know him, I knew of him, but he didn't know me at all. But I knew his cousin really well, and his cousin was like, "Hey, man, if you're gonna train, try to get back in day meet gym with Kurt Hollowball." I'm like, "All right." So I get in there, and all of a sudden, "Hey, I'm Kurt Hollowball," and this and that. He's a USC fighter. I'm like, "Man, I didn't even know you went to the USC." I'm not really into like USC and all that. I never really kept up to all that, and until now. And like I said, I didn't know nothing. And that's the thing, man. You just gotta not be. It's hard to say not to be scared because you're gonna be nervous and stuff. But man, once you walk in there, everybody's open arms, man. Everybody's willing to help you. Don't be scared to sound stupid or look stupid or whatever, because it's kind of awkward at first. Hell, I think when I first got on the mat, I was a white belt, and number one rules is white belts start at the very end to the left. Me, I went towards the brown belts, and all they're like, "No, you can't stand there." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, don't know better." First day.
So you do this full time?
Yes, sir. I do it Monday through Friday. A lot of times I do it on Saturday sometimes for wrestling, but I haven't been going lately, so just trying to build muscle, working out, and all that. So, yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, man, I love it, man.
So you don't have a full-time job or nothing? You just go to the gym and start working out?
Yeah, I do have a full-time job. I'm a team lead at my job, and we work 4-10s, and most of the time I'll work on a Friday. And yeah, man, it's a struggle sometimes. We got a lot of how you want to say it? A lot of adults that don't act like kids, kind of thing, and that gets aggravating. And people, they have questions, and instead of like stopping and trying to figure it out for a minute or two, they'll just freak out and be like, "Hey, man, what's this? What's half of a foot or something crazy?" So, and that just kind of gets a little aggravating. And what really gets me is when one person comes up to me, I think about, how you want to say it, trying to, one at a time, one problem at a time to solve. And I got one person coming up to me, then I got another one, and I got another one coming up to me, and I know they're not all important. And they just want to kind of be annoying, but I try not to let it get to me. Like I said, I'll try to do one situation at a time, try to solve that problem.
What kind of work do you do?
Like I said, I'm a team lead, so trying to help out, try to get the team what they need, and trying to get everything ready for him. There's a lot of times I just can't stand there and just watch the whole time. And especially if we running behind, I'll get back on my tools and all that. I was a welder for 10 years. So like I said, I'm so used to all that. I don't mind getting on my tools at all.
Okay. Last guy we had here, he was a welder.
Yeah, I know him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. He's one. Not gonna say he's one of my employees. He's on my team, and team lead. I lead him. His name's Tanner. Philpott. I don't know if I say his name correctly or
Tanner
not.
Philpott.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, man, he's a good kid, man. He's not really annoying. What I don't get is well, I get it, but I'll watch him for a minute. Man, he works his ass off, man. He all day, but he really doesn't get much done because he's you gotta appreciate it because he's worried about his quality and worried about getting every little thing right. And it's like you really can't dog him for it because he really does try. So I'll look at him and laugh at him and be like, man, dude, what you been doing all day? I've been working. And he'll tell me, and I know because I watch him. But man, yeah, man, he's a good kid, man. He's very talented with the guitar and all that. Not very good at singing. And we'll mess with him about it, but hell, practice makes perfect, man. And me and him have like a little rivalry, I guess you want to say. Not really. We would just try to dog each other. And man, it's like Batman and the Joker, man. I'll say something really extreme to him, and he'll come back with something funny, even though he says the same thing over and over and over again. But every once in a while, he'll come up with something new, and it'll be really funny.
I got you.
But yeah, he's a good kid, man. He's got all his ducks in a row, and you know what I mean?
You said you're a lead man, so you basically have to show people what to do and then make sure everything flows right.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I have my partner. He's really my best friend, man. We've been his name's Hunter Cunningham. Me and him, we've been through thick and thin, dude. He normally really helps me out a lot, and I help him, And how to say it? Yeah, he helps me out a lot, and a lot of people like him more because me, sometimes I'm just blunt, and I don't know. People think I'm an asshole, I guess. I'm trying not to be. But him, he's all friendly and stuff, so he's a good cop. I'm the bad cop in our department because we're both lead men. We're both partners. And, yeah, man, he helps out a lot, man. Without him, they probably won't be a welding department. And, yeah, man, he's a really good guy, man.
Okay. So you go work all day, and then how do you balance working and practicing for MMA training?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but
it's
one of those things where you just got to keep on keeping on, like Joe Dirt said. I mean, you got this fight coming up and all this and that, and of course you get tired, but you got to focus on that. You can't take breaks and this and that because there's one little thing you might miss in class that might help you out in the fight. And plus, you got to sweat. You just can't have that diet and just sit at home. You know what I mean? You can't. You're not going to build no muscle. You're not going to build your cardio up or nothing like that. So 10-hour days, or if I don't have to stay late, as soon as I get in the car, sometimes I'll try to go home just because I like my water cold. And I like to just put fresh clothes on. I've had like 5 minutes just to sit down, just in silence. I know it sounds weird, but just not hearing nobody all day because working where I work at, you hear beating with the hammers all day and power tools and all that. It just kind of gets aggravating after a while. And just sitting at home and just drink a bottle of water for like 5 minutes, get your workout clothes on and get everything ready, and you head out. As soon as you get there, it's pretty much balls to the wall, man.
I got you. So, you don't have much time to see your wife in between?
Not much time, man. A lot of times I'll get home like 10:30 or 11 at night, and I try to help her out. Well, most of the time she's got the house done, but like if she's tired or feeling sick or whatever, I gotta, pick up the pace and, try to do clothes and this and that, and I'll lay down with her. She watches TV and this and that series. Me, I just can't sit there and watch everything, and keep up with it constantly. Plus, she doesn't wait up for me at all. She just watches everything, and I just don't even deal with it no more. I just kind of play on my phone while I'm sitting on the couch with her.
So I do that. My wife gets mad because we'll watch a show on Netflix, watch the first episode, and she'll be like, well, I'm going to sleep. I'm like, well, I want to watch some more, Yeah. So I watch 2 or 3, and then she's like, I don't even want to watch it no more.
Yeah, well, that's how she is, man. And I don't know. We do that on the weekday. On the weekend, I'll try to spend much time with her if I can. That's why I go work out in the morning. Plus, there's nobody there at the gym at the early time I go. And as soon as I go to get done with that, I'll pick her up, and me and her will go to one of my sponsors. It's a tea shop. It's called Hype Nutrition right there in our airport. Them people are awesome, man. They help me out a lot. And we'll get teas, and we'll straight up go to Walmart. We'll get all our food to meal prep, and we'll go home and cook it. And after that, we'll spend the rest of the day together.
Okay. So, y'all have kids together? Or?
I have a stepdaughter, and we've been trying for a while to have kids. I've been to doctors and stuff, and they just can't seem to find out what's really going on, really. I guess she's got to get, not tested, but, looked at first. But we kind of had, I don't know, we want to have kids, but we don't because, man, dude, I'm not trying to sound old, but, man, if you look at the kids now, it's just, man, it's rough, man. They just, I don't know. It's hard to say they had no future or whatever. They don't have no work ethic or nothing. They just listen to music, dancing. I don't know.
What was it like getting married and gaining a daughter? How did you change your life from being single to a father?
Man, dude, at that time, my father just passed, and she messaged me asking me if I was doing okay because me and her mom worked together at Piggly Wiggly in Independence for a year or 2. So we kind of became close. But after a few years, I haven't saw and spoken to her. But everybody knows my dad in Tickfall and Independence. Everybody knows him, and they were checking up on me and stuff. And one thing led to another. We just talked every day, and we hung out, and of course she brought her daughter with her, and I think she was I don't think she was exactly 2 yet. So pretty much as she grew older, I grew up with her. That makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
I treat her like my own. Of course you have to. But really I treat her like my own because she was so young when I was around.
What does she think about you fighting? Does she not understand it?
I don't think she fully understands yet, but she gets a little bit of the concept of it. When I get home, she's like, "You beat anybody up?" Nah, baby, I didn't beat nobody up. I got whooped. Oh man, maybe you'll try. Maybe you'll whoop somebody tomorrow. I said, maybe. We'll see, baby.
Because I was watching your videos, and I have a 4-year-old. She was watching it with me. She goes, "Daddy, is he a bad guy?" I said, No. They're just...
You should have told her, yeah, I like being the bad guy.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's a sport, baby. And then she said,
okay. She came to one of my fights, just one, and it was my second fight. That was when it was in Covington against that guy, Cody, I was telling you about. It was my first loss. And I remember that kid was a hell of a wrestler, and he wound up getting the takedown. And I remember it was hurting. I was like, damn, that hurt. And you could hear, I could hear her in the crowd saying, "Get up, Dominicky," because that's what she calls me. And get up. And man, it pumped me up, and I wound up getting up after that. And I love that. But normally when I have a fight, normally it's her dad's weekend. And, I don't try to take that away from her or anything,
So her dad is involved in all that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, he is.
So when you did your very first fight, what was going through your head? Were you nervous? Were you like, okay, I got to get this done?
Like I said, you're nervous all of them, but, I was 10 times omega nervous because it was my first one. And, man, dude, I I have a lot of doubters, man, and people that, like, I don't know, people don't want me to win, this and that at that time. And I was scared to fail. But just like my coach says, it's just a fight, man. Every fight that I have, before we walk out, he looks at me and tells me it's just a fight. Be confident of your skill and just go out there and do it, man. And I did, and I wound up winning my first MMA fight.
Okay. So who'd you fight in your first one?
Oh, man, I'm bad with names. I knew his name was Ryan. And, man, let me tell you, man, he was, at that time for amateur, he was 2-0, and he had a lot of experience. It was my first fight. No, he was 0-2. My bad. Yeah, he was 0-2. But he had a lot of experience, more experience than I have. And I was scared going that fight. And like I said, I wound up winning by decision. But, man, dude, I saw him fight at a Texas club for Titan a few months ago. And it was cool because it was their first show for Titan, and he was able to be the first fight that night. And, dude, he's a killer, man. For 170, he I think it was second round he wound up ending the fight. And that dude's scary now, man. If it ever happens between me and him again, we probably either's got to be 155, and I doubt he'll go 155 or 170. I don't know how that will work out. But, yeah, it'll definitely be a real challenge this time.
So when you first started training for your first fight, like, how did you transition from being, just a regular person to, okay, I got to start training for MMA? Got to start training to fight? How did you transition into that?
Man, just the hardest thing was mentally, man. Because I used to go to the fights and watch my boy Carlton, DK Terrence. That's my boy. And I used to go to his fights all the time and watch him. And I remember he used to come to the crowd and come see me. He's like, hey, man, you going to come walk out with me? And I was like, oh, man, dude, that's awesome, And I'll wait in the back with him and we'll walk out with him. And, man, I can't remember. It was a few fights. And my coach is like, you like this feeling, huh? About to walk out and all? I said, man, I love it, man. It's like being a wrestler. He's like, well, man, maybe one day you can do it. I'm like, yeah, that'll be cool, but I don't know. And then the second time, he's like, man, do you want to fight? And he's looking at me dead serious. I'm like, dude, I'm just laughing. I'm like, dude, y'all just want to see me get pummeled and y'all laugh about it. No, man, I really think I'm really serious, man. I think you got what it takes, man. And just for a minute, it took me a minute, but it took me a few times for them to set me down and like, hey, this is real. We want you to fight. And then, he how to say it? Kurt, he really motivated me a lot, and he really helped me out a lot during the weekdays. Him and Preston for sure. Carlton, he helped me out on the weekend. Well, he helped me out on weekdays too, but weekends, man, he made sure I was there Saturday and Sunday, and he just stuck with me no matter what. He always texts me like, "Hey, man, we're gonna be at the gym." I'm like, man, if you want, I don't want to take no time out of your day. He's like, no, I ain't worried about that. Meet me at the gym at this time. And, dude, we'll spend like 2 or 3 hours, man. It's just simple stuff. And he really wanted me to win, man, for my first fight. And without him, I won't be fighting either.
That's good to have like a team behind you, help support you. You think that helps motivate you to
definitely, especially when you're walking out and you're looking at the cage and all of a sudden before you got to put all your stuff on, you got to look behind you and you see your team and they're there for you, man. And like I said, it's not just the gym, it's outside in life too, because I talk to all them guys about everything.
That's good. So you said you're going to Homa in June. Where all have you been to have a fight? You said you went to Alabama?
Went to Alabama was my second one. Alabama was my first one. Second one was in Covington. That was pretty cool because it was closer to home. Yeah. My third one was Alabama. Fourth one was in Slidell. That was cool because, again, it was right down the road. Well, not down the road, but closer to home. And then my fifth fight, my coach asked me if, before he went to the Ultimate Fighter, he looked at me and said, hey, man, you want to go to, crap, man, I can't even remember Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. You want to go to Michigan? I'm like, for what? He's like, man, to fight. And then in my head, like, dude, get out of here, man. Ain't nobody going to send me to no, Michigan. He's like, and then again, he had to sit down and talk to me. He's like, no, dude, I'm serious. It's for the title and all. And it's the promotion called Lights Out, man. And I'm like, man, you being really serious, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm being serious. But here's the problem. I'm not going to be able to corner you because I got to go to Ultimate Fighter. That's the only thing that worries me. I'm like, well, at least I got Preston. He's like, well, it's up to you who you want your second guy to be because you're able to have 2 cornermen for amateur. It's up to you. So, right off the bat, Preston and Carlton. And they got everything lined up and all. And I went to Michigan, flew my very first time flying. That was crazy. I got to Michigan, and it was really different, man. And I had that fight, and I wound up losing. But, man, he was a hell of an opponent. He was really awesome, very respectful at the very end. And then after that one, I had my Hunter James fight, my last one. I broke my arm. So this one coming up should be my 7th one.
Okay.
And right now I'm 3-3 for amateur, so it's not too bad, but
So you grew up in Louisiana?
Yes, sir. I grew up in Tickfall, Louisiana, a little small town.
What was it like growing up there?
Man, very small.
Yeah. Very
small, and not many people there. And they had a few kids that lived down my street, and of course, everybody rode their bikes and all that. They would go down everybody's road and see each other and play when we were kids. And, I didn't have much of that though. But
you still hang out with any of them?
No, man. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about this the other day. There was 3 kids down the road, and 2 of them were twins. Their name was Ricky and Randy, and I can't remember their last names. And they had an older brother, and I can't remember his name. And they were from Chicago, and they moved down there for a little while. And man, we played, we fought all the time, and just how kids are, man. And man, I got there one day, and they said, "Hey, dude, we're moving." And they're all crying about it and all that, and I was a little upset about it too. And they moved, and I really didn't have nobody to play with, really. But every now and then I'll go to friends' houses and all that, and that made up for it a little bit, I guess.
Did you ever find them on Facebook or anything?
No, like I said, I can't remember their last names, but if they're ever hearing this, hopefully they'll, hear me talking about them, and maybe they'll probably add me. That would be awesome.
You said you work full time. Do people you work with, do they know you fight?
Yes, sir, all of them. And it's they joke with me a lot about it and this and that, and but really I know they want to see me win too. You know what I mean? Even though I kind of be an asshole at work sometimes, only because I have to. They talk to me about it and all that. I try not to brag about it at all with anybody, because I try to stay humble as much as I can. And plus, nobody wants to hear me talk about me fighting all the time, So I just kind of talk to them and just with them about everyday things. They ask me, then I'll look at them and I'll try to explain it to them, because a lot of people don't understand. They'll I don't know. I don't know. I had one guy, I brought some gloves to work with me, and I had some regular 4-ounce MMA gloves, and I had regular boxing gloves that were 16 ounce. Then I had to get them fixed, and all of a sudden I was walking with them, and one guy stopped me. He's like, "Hey man, what are those?" And I'm like, clear as day, they're gloves, man. Man, dude, we started talking about it, and he's like, "Man, dude, I'd rather get hit with them 4-ounce gloves than get hit with them 16-ounce gloves." And I'm looking at him like, dude, these are 4 ounces. Like, they're super small. You're going to get knocked out with these before you get knocked out with boxing. Don't get me wrong, boxing gloves really do hurt. But you see what I'm saying? I'd rather get hit with friggin' 16-ounce gloves than 4-ounce gloves. And just like that, people don't understand, man.
Have they been out to see you fight?
I had a few people let's see, my boy Brandon DeMarco. He works in where I work at, and he's also one of my really good friends. best friends. And him and his son, they try to come every single time. And I keep, like, if it's far, I'm like, dude, you don't have to come. It's okay. And blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going. And I appreciate him and his son and all of them for coming all the time. They had this girl that works underneath me. Her name's Megan Gill. She always tries to come to my fight. I think she came like 3 fights already. And she's always supporting me. And there's a lady, Mary Howell. I know her pretty well. She comes to my fight. Everybody comes, much as they can. I think they got a lot of people coming this time.
I'm going to try to make it out. Whenever you go to Houma, I'm going to try to go. Me and one of my good friends are going to try to go.
I try to tell people, they don't have to come because I'm scared I'm going to get embarrassed and all that. And it's like, how the fight go? Oh, I lost. And y'all don't get to see me get freaking hurt or nothing like that. And, I get nervous about stuff like that. So I try to tell them, you don't have to come. So be less nervous. But honestly, with you, for my 4th fight, that was one of my biggest wins, man. And my mom and my sister and my stepmom and my aunt, all kind of people showed up. And, man, that fight, I thought I was going to lose for sure. That dude was a monster. Sure enough, I got the submission that night. And, man, I think just seeing all of them pumping me up and all that, just kind of just breathe and listen to them. And, I wound up winning it. So.
Is your mom like nerve-wracked every time you get in a fight? She's like, oh, my God, my baby.
She only came to one of my fights because it was so close. And nothing on her or whatever. Like I said, I really don't care if anybody comes or whatever. Yeah, she was a little worried at first and all that because she doesn't really get it either because she doesn't watch MMA or UFC or Bellator, none of that. Because I always grew up with wrestling, like WWE and all that. And she thinks I'm doing something like that. I'm like, no, Mom, it's legit. I'm going in there fighting for my life. Oh, okay. So in a boxing ring or a wrestler? No, it's in a cage. Oh, okay. And now she actually sat down and saw what I got to do, and she's like, oh, my God. But I won that night, and I really didn't take a lot of damage. And she's like, oh, okay, this ain't so bad. Like I said, she wasn't there when I took a lot of damage. So,
would you want to go like full-time just doing MMA?
Yeah, so I don't
make
know.
A career out of it? Are you amateur right now or are you professional?
I'm amateur. My coach says I got about 2 or 3 more fights. They try to get it to where we have 9 fights underneath our belt or something like that for us to go pro. So I just got a few more fights, and hopefully I get a good performance and win these next 2 fights or whatever, then I'll be pro.
So you would want to go full-time with it?
Yeah.
No more work, just going straight training, fights?
I have a plan. Doesn't mean it's going to come out the way it goes, but I'm trying to take a step at a time. What I really like to do is, I probably got about 5 or 6 more years or something like that to get my black belt. And, of course, that's everybody's goal, that they're doing jiu-jitsu to get their black belt. I want to get my black belt and hopefully open my own gym underneath Kurt Hallball. And especially one of my best friends, Preston, he just got his brown belt maybe a few weeks ago, so he's a step closer to me for sure. And I like to open a gym with just like me and him, or if all 3 of us could, be together in a gym and just train like that, man. I would love to do it. I'm so loyal to them, man. They're my boys, man. But yeah, really, I just want to do that, man. That and work out in the morning. I just love all that, man.
To go pro, you say you need about 9 fights?
Yeah, that's how they try to do it in our...
So what does happen when you go pro from amateur?
You finally get paid.
Oh, you get paid?
Yeah, because right now you don't get paid, unfortunately. So, yeah, the last time, for my last fight, went in there, got a broken arm. Don't get me wrong, they paid for everything. But, man, dude, you could have got a few bucks for getting my arm broke or whatever. But, no, but luckily they paid for everything, and that was great. But, yeah, you're not supposed to get paid when you're amateur because amateur, you're supposed to kind of get better and, try to get used to everything. And, this is how it is. And when you get pro, it's like, all right, the times change. For amateur, it's 3 3-minute rounds, and for pro, it's 3 5-minute rounds. So you got an extra 2 minutes, and that's 3 minutes is rough, but I'm pretty sure I could do it. You know what I mean? Because my car is so pretty good right now and all. But yeah, that's the only thing that's different, man. Plus, if it's a title fight, you got 5 minute 5 rounds. Yeah, so that'll be rough, man. But you know, I'm not looking. I like to have a title shot while I'm pro, but you know, of course, you got to rack some wins up. You know what I mean? You just can't go in there and be like, oh, you know, I'm pro. Give me a title shot, and blah blah blah. You just can't do that, man.
So when you go pro, like, do you need like a sponsor to go pro, or?
No, you can have sponsors now, which is I got a few of them, man.
You're talking about the tea place.
Oh yeah, they're off.
Tell me how that happened.
Oh, man. So my wife, well, we used to work 5/8 all the time, Monday through Friday, and our schedule was changed to 4/10s. And of course, you know, as soon as we change our schedule, of course they're going to be really hard on the 4/10. So of course I was off on Fridays a lot, and she was like, be at work and be like, hey, you think you could give me a tea? I'm like, yeah, where you want to get a tea at? And she'll type in the address and, you know, send it to me. And I'll go get her tea every now and then, and I'll talk to them and all. And the more I got close with them, the more I was like, hey, you know, just want to get some sponsors, because it's cool to have names on your shorts, you know what I mean? And just testing out, like, hey, y'all mind if I put y'all's name on my shorts and let y'all be a sponsor and all that? They're kind of like weird at first about it, because they don't know how it works. You know what I mean? Like, oh crap, nobody ever asked us about that or whatever. And, you know, the people I'm close with, I try to support them as much as I can. You know, I had that one, and what's the other one, man? Simple Harmony Forums. I had those, and that's my boy Pop Jason Gowdy. He was one of the guys that stood at my wedding. He's really close to me. He's a little bit older, but you know, that's my boy, and that's him and his wife's thing. They sell all kinds of stuff, man. And there's only 2 right now. So,
would you want to put my name on your shorts?
I would, if you want me to.
All right. How would I go about doing that?
Just send me a logo and send me the name, and I'll talk to my boy Preston, and he'll get his fiance to put them on for me.
I'll get my graphics designer. She'll send it to you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Is there any like challenges facing like training and balancing work life and balancing home life? Any challenges you face doing that?
Stress, man.
Stress?
I kind of stress out a lot. Sometimes when medicine works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on what day it is, and it's just stressed, man. Like I have a lot of bad days more than I have good days, if that makes sense. Like, not really for work. It's you know, it depends on what the work is. Like, if they have like a whole bunch of problems that need to be fixed, that gets a little stressful. So let's just say we have like 5 things that messed up or whatever, like at the very end of the day, and you're like, crap, man, so I got to fix all this tomorrow. Then you get off and you go to the gym, and just like how I'm saying, I'm trying to beat my old time 15 minutes in my 2-round run, and let's just say I do it in like 18 minutes, and I'm like, man, crap, man, I don't know, I tried my hardest, and you're aggravated by that. You go in there and you get the crap beaten out of you, and it's like, man, I'm performing poorly. But man, that's all it is, man. But really, you're just really getting better as time comes.
Is there any like particular fighting style you prefer over any others? Like, you like boxing, or you like ground and pound, or you like grapple?
Like I said, towards the beginning, I was more a jiu-jitsu guy. So of course I was on the ground, and towards I always try to improve my stand-up game. But it took like the 4th fight, man. I had one guy, and after the one guy that said it, there was a few guys that said it. You're like, man, dude, me and you fought, you know, the only thing you'll have me is a ground game. You don't have no stand-up game. I'm like, bullshit, and I look at my fights. I'm like, man, dude, you know, I'm not going to say they're right, but I'm like, I could improve my stand-up game. So told my coaches, and they helped me out a lot. And I went to another gym called Victory, and I trained with him like one day, and that kind of helped me out. My last camp, that's all I pretty much did. I wasn't really focused on jiu-jitsu part, just stand up. And my last fight, we just stood up the whole time, and I thought I did pretty good, even with a broken arm. So,
tell you what, I couldn't fight.
Yeah. Well, all that adrenaline, man, you just knew something was wrong, but I was like, oh, fuck it, we got to finish it. You know what I mean? Plus, the title was on the line. I really wanted that belt, so.
So how would you say I weigh about 300 pounds. How would you go about taking me down?
Oh, man, dude, I don't. Well, we had some bigger guys at the gym. But I think we have one guy that's like 2 times bigger than you, believe it or not. And he comes up in there, he does jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. I do not want him on top of me. I do not want him on top of me because I had some guys that just went on top of me and used all their weight, and they just sat on me the whole time. And sometimes it's hard to get you off. I'm not on that black belt level, of course, so I don't know how to really do the sweeps and all that. Like, my coach could do it like easy, but me, I'm like, oh my God, you're so heavy, and can't get you off, and I'm struggling,
Oh, man.
But that's my motivation. I can't let this dude get on top of me for nothing.
So, you have an opponent coming up. Do you, look to see how tall they are, how big they are? Or are you just trying to see how they fight?
Well, I think he's 2-1, I believe. I'm not too sure. And he don't have no videos on him. And he has one, but it's not on YouTube. My coach, Preston, he has a little app. I can't remember what the app's called. And he pays for it every month to where he could find the amateur pay-per-views and all that. And he's like, man, this is your opponent right here. And not dogging him or anything because he probably had a bad night or something like that. The bell rung, they touched gloves, and he threw 1 or 2 punches. Well, he got caught, and just a matter of, I think it lasted a minute. They wound up stopping the fight, and he lost that night. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I got to really see with him. But I don't know. Just, I probably might have a lot more experience than him. I don't know, he might prove me wrong, but we're just the same build, pretty much.
Okay. Why they stop the fight so quick?
He was getting hit a lot. So you got this rule, if you get hit 12 times and you don't try to defend yourself, they have to stop the fight. So after he got hit that one time, he might have showed 1 or 2 punches or whatever, but they weren't really strong. And that guy was just lighting them up, man. And again, he had 12 punches and he wasn't reacting, so they stopped the fight.
So what's considered defense? Your hands up? Or?
Hands up, and like I said, you gotta shoot a takedown. You gotta actually throw a punch. You gotta move. You just can't put your hands up to your head and just stay there. You know what I mean? Just taking hits. You can't do that.
So Dominick, thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate you coming out, taking time out your busy schedule.
No problem. No problem at all.
It means a lot to me. I'm just trying to get this thing started, kicking off. I had Tanner come. I got you coming.
I totally understand. Hopefully this isn't my last time coming on here either.
I would like y'all to come back.
Yeah, it's no problem. Just ask me, man.
I'm going to get with my graphics designer and send you a logo. That'd be nice if you could do that for me.
Hell yeah, man. I definitely would.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching.
Blue Collar Podcast.